Yo, what's going on guys, it's Rocket here, and today I'm going to be giving you guys a full guide on the camera settings in Rocket League and give you the best tips to optimize those camera settings to perform at your maximum potential. This is my very first YouTube video guys, so go easy on me, I can only improve from here. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So one of the more confusing camera settings that many people don't understand yet is the camera stiffness. This is how far your camera will zoom out when you are moving at high speeds. The higher it is, the less it will move, whereas the lower the stiffness is, the more loose your camera will be. So this next clip shows me playing at a 1 stiffness, and you can see as I'm driving around fast, the car really isn't moving at all, and vice versa with lower stiffness. And you'll also notice that when you're using these settings, it actually feels like you have a lot more control over your car, a lot easier to hit the ball, but actually that's not the case. With whatever camera settings you use, you'll have the same exact control with your car. So in this next clip, you'll see me using my own personal preference, which is a 0.4 stiffness, and that's because I find that it's a good balance in between your camera moving too much and your camera not moving at all. So I recommend just finding a good balance in between that fits for you, and don't be afraid to experiment a little. So the next thing I want to talk about is your camera FOV, or field of view. And this basically controls how far you can see in the left and right directions. And you can see when I play around with the settings, the lower it is, the more it takes away from viewing left and right, and the higher it is, the more you can see left and right. I personally recommend playing with a higher FOV as it helps find your teammates and other players on the field, and it can raise your awareness of when to flick the ball and avoid being demoed by other players. Another important camera setting that will impact your overall performance heavily is your camera distance. And this is pretty much self-explanatory as it controls how close the camera is to your car. It's important to note that the closer your camera distance is, the more control you may seem to have, and vice versa, the farther you are, the more loose it may feel. This is really a personal preference, probably most of all, because a lot of pros use very different distances that may look weird to you, but it works for them. And just as a side note, I know you guys would like to know what distance I play on. I personally play on a 280 distance, and that's mainly because I copied my favorite pro player Dapper, and I really like his settings, and it just kind of stuck with me. I don't really like to change anything about it, and that's what I really recommend doing. Just copy your favorite pro player as a reference and change as you go along. So the final thing I want to explain, guys, is your camera angle. And this is going to be hard to explain, guys, so just bear with me here. But basically, if your camera angle is at 0, your camera is going to be parallel to your car, making it harder to see anything because you're so close to the ground. The higher the angle, the more direct the camera looks at your car from a bird's eye point of view. I play at 4 because I know I sound like a broken record here, guys, but honestly it feels the best for me, and it's all personal preference. Anything below or higher than that just doesn't feel right. So there you guys have it, my very first YouTube video. Please give me feedback on what I can do better and what you guys would like to see from me in the future. I will definitely try to respond to all comments I get, so don't be afraid to ask questions. Once again, this is my very first video, so I only hope to make progress from here. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe to stay updated with future videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.